It's about 5 months after my 21st birthday, and I haven't had a job for over a year. I get my financial aid refund for full term, and I think, wow, this is my time to try legal weed. So, since I'm an unambitious loser that still can't bring myself to learn to drive, I head to the dispensary in town on my bike. I get there, lock up my bike, and see that the place which I've never stepped in before is very well kept. I say to the cashier, "First time, what do you recommend?" And they recommend this $13 pack of jellies. There were 10 of these jellies, each containing 5 milligrams of THC each. 5 of them immediately went down the hatch, but then I'm just staring at the other 5, thinking, it's just weed, right? People go on and on about how harmless this stuff is. You only live once, right? And now the entire box is gone. 50 milligrams of THC total consumed at once. With the delay of edibles safeguarding my sanity, I think nothing of it, and think another fun use of my government money would be getting something from a nearby Mediterranean-themed food truck. I decide to get a Abraxas Gyro for $10. While I'm waiting, I look over to see they have this super rad big garage space just to wait for your food, with benches, music, and arcade machines. There were many arcade choices, but being a man of culture, of course my eyes were turned towards Family Guy Pinball. I looked for quarters in my wallet, and all they had were bills, so I head to their change machine. And I think it was some moment during the quarters being dispensed that the edibles hit, and on the drop of a hat, it's like I returned to monkey. All of my normal human awareness gone in an instant, leaving me only to perceive the present time. Although some vague mission of getting quarters into the Family Guy pinball machine remained, in my state I couldn't even figure out how to get the machine to accept the quarters. I stepped back and realized what was happening, and I couldn't believe how off I felt. It felt like my body was 48 hours sleep deprived and could barely support my own weight. It felt like my entire body was made out of my heart and had its own heartbeat. It felt like my entire body was rapidly sinking and being crushed. Any attempt for my utterly dulled mind to think over the situation was vetoed by an instinctual fear of death. In that moment, barely able to think and experiencing a totally alien feeling, I thought I was dying. I tried to calm myself down by just waiting for my gyro, which I somehow didn't forget about. 5 grueling minutes of barely keeping balance on my stationary bike pass before my gyro was ready. I can barely make out what they said to me, but I saw a takeout box to grab, so not feeling in the mood to eat, I put it in my backpack, and I was on my way. I must have only trekked 100 feet before I gave up on my pride and called a parent to drive me to the hospital. The 10 minutes until they arrived must have been the worst 10 minutes of my entire fucking life. All of the symptoms of my green out have only gotten worse. I couldn't even enjoy or manage looking at my phone, so I just bowed my head in agony for what felt like an hour. When I was finally taken to the hospital, on a wheelchair from the parking lot, I was just given anti-nausea medicine and a bed to lay down in. I must have not been able to open my eyes for 2 whole hours in the hospital, but at least the gyro, once I ate it on my way out of the hospital, was very good. And I felt much better after a 5-hour nap at home. I looked up the chart of the effects of edibles online, and yeah, I really should have done my fucking research. 50 milligrams was right on the border of the highest level, described as highly likely to impair coordination and ultra perception, can cause negative side effects such as rapid heart rate, nausea, and pain. Holy shit. I really only thought hard drugs could be this strong. I was so naive.